Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Creature Feature Sunday. Now today I'm going to be taking a look at Howl. Now Howl is a 2015 film which runs approximately 92 minutes and is directed by Paul Hyatt. Now he of course is responsible for The Seasoning House, which is a really hard film to watch. I actually watched it on Netflix, and I enjoyed it, but it was kind of hard to sit through. Heretics, Peripheral, and he also did makeup effects on Attack the Block, The Cottage, which is a favorite of mine, and The Descent, Parts 1 and 2. Now this stars Ed Spielers as Joe. He was in The House That Jack Built, and which I've never seen yet, and A Lonely Place to Die, which I have seen, I do own, and was surprised actually how good it was. This also stars Holly Weston as Ellen. She was in Await Further Instructions, which I believe Geek Legion of Doom did a review on recently. Shauna McDonald as Kate. She was in The Descent 1 and 2 and a movie called The Hike, which seems kind of like a slasher film, so it's probably one I should check out. And the name that I recognized right away was Sean Pertwee as simply the driver. Now he was in Dog Soldiers, which is another werewolf movie, and also The Seasoning House, which I actually don't remember him in that. But he is on one of my favorite television shows, which is ending this year, Gotham, where he plays Alfred, the butler. Now, a short synopsis on this film. There's not really much to it. Joe plays a worker for the train system, and this is a British film. He applies for a promotion and gets turned down. And not only does he get turned down, he gets put on the red eye as kind of an extra shift. He's very passive. One of my complaints about this movie is the passengers are very, very unlikable. I like Joe, the train worksman. The driver was in it, not that much. I wish he had a bigger part in it. But, yeah, the passengers were kind of really unlikable. So he's on the train, and just the whole rigmarole of people giving him a hard time, misplacing their tickets. He's basically a ticket checker. They call him a guard. He's going up and down the train, and all of a sudden the train hits something and is stopped pretty much dead in its tracks. The driver, of course played by Sean Pertwee, goes out to check, and it seems like they had hit a deer, and it's underneath one of the wheel things that are on the tracks. I don't know exactly what you call them, but I'm assuming they're called wheels. I don't know. But they are stopped, and they are stalked by a bunch of werewolves in the forest. Now, the werewolves have a lot of CGI to them, which is okay. It seemed like they were mostly practical effects as far as the gore, so I was fine with that. Now, at first, and this is not a very good representation of the werewolf, unfortunately, it's kind of not what I was expecting. Now, I will say this. When I first saw the werewolves, I was a little disappointed because they look more like men than wolves. So, like I said, a little bit disappointed, but as the movie went on, I enjoyed the design a lot more, if that makes any sense. I was kind of put off at first, but then was kind of okay with it as the movie developed, because it is a little bit different of a take on werewolves. Now, of course, these people in the train have to survive, and that's your basic story. They're about 3 miles, I believe that's what they said, about 3 miles from the train station when everything goes haywire, and like I said, they have to survive. It's a pretty good werewolf film. To me, werewolf films are few and far between that are very good. I actually kind of like this. Yeah. So I'm gonna give this a 7.5. So it was between a 7 and a 7.5 for me. But I kind of liked it. Like I said, this isn't really a great representation of what the werewolves look like. You'd kind of have to see it to understand. But it's a decent little movie. Now, a few interesting things about the film. This film was made for £1 million, UK. It had its world premiere at the Fright Fest 2015. The lead character who played Joe, Ed Spielers, was also in another werewolf film called Love Bite. As was Sean Pertwee, of course. He was in Dog Soldiers. And the werewolves have more of a human look to them, as I was saying before. And that's kind of where the CGI comes in with their facial expressions and their bodies and walking on triple jointed legs. And yeah, it's something I think you would have to see. But like I said, the gore was mostly practical effects. So as long as they're not completely doing everything CGI, I can kind of let it pass. So, but if you're into werewolf movies and you want something that's a little bit better than the normal werewolf film, check this one out. I mean, it's not a masterpiece. It's not great, but I kind of enjoyed it. So, but if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.